Hello friends and welcome back to Purus Java tutorials. In this session we are going to cover the one of the main concept, that is polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms. So here in this diagram I have depicted what are the different types of polymorphism we have in Java and how it is achieved. So this is one is compile time polymorphism, that is called static polymorphism also, and one is runtime polymorphism. And these two types of polymorphism is achieved using either method overriding or method overloading. So basically uh, the static the static polymorphism can be achieved through overloading, method overloading, or your constructor overloading, and this dynamic polymorphism achieved through the overriding. Let me create a class file, overloading example. So let me create a method here uh, called add. That's, I'll say public void add, and let me try to add one more method, same method add, and we'll see what happens. So here in one class you cannot add two methods with the same name, but you can add these two methods. You can add the same named methods by giving different types of parameters or different number of parameters. So what it goes inside this parenthesis, it's called parameters. So let me just here write integer a comma integer b, and here see, without any parameters the compiler accepted this form. So for example here, let me just clarify what it is. Compile time polymorphism, and this is called a method overloading. So method overloading is the same method is defined in a class with a different number of parameters. Here actually integer, two integer parameters, here no parameters. You can give here like double a, double b also. You can give a single parameter also. So here number of parameter varies 2 and 1. So let me just summarize here. Overloading is something achieved by different number or types of argument passed to method or constructor. Okay, so constructor I already had uh, explained in previous sessions. You can go through that video, what is a constructor. So here what happens, I have two methods with the same name, but it has different form. One is it is taking two parameters, one is taking one parameter. That is what it means exactly. Many forms, single name many forms. That means single name is add, and it has two forms. One is taking two parameters, one is taking one parameter. That is why it is called polymorphism. So this is one kind of polymorphism. This is achieved by using method overloading. So method overloading is like this. So we'll come to method overriding in next session. So let's first cover this method overloading. So here let me try to do a sysout. Addition of a and b is, so here we need to give a bracket here or parenthesis, a plus b, and Here let's say I'll just write addition of two parameter results. So I need to add 2 here, and I'll create a main method. Let me create an object of this overloading example. OE equal to new overloading example. If I'll do a OE dot, I can see two methods, that is add method 2 times. One is to integer variable and one is with single double variable. So the compiler knows at what time what to call. If I'll give two parameters here, then it will call this first one. If I am calling with second with one parameter, it will call the second. That is why this is called the compile time polymorphism. So we are actually defining now method overloading and why it is called compile time polymorphism. So let me call with two parameters first, and then I will call with one parameter. Let me try to run this. See here, first I'm giving 1 and 2, so 1 plus 2 equal to 3, which is here it is coming, and the second one 3 I'm passing, 3 plus 2 is 5.0. So since this is a double value, so it is coming as 5.0. It is decimal value, so to hold the decimal value you can use the double. So here, as you can see, I'm giving a parenthesis here. If I don't give, what will happen? Since the first part is string value, whatever it comes the next, it will be treated as string. So if I'll not give this one and see what happens. So what will happen is it will treat this a value as a string. So a is nothing but I'm passing 1 and 2. So two string variable. So two string variable, if I will do a addition, right, plus with plus symbol, then it will concatenate. So don't worry about this. We'll cover all this string feature later. So just to avoid the confusion, don't give like this directly. You should give always like this. Okay. So let me just show you the output if we'll not give the parenthesis. So as you can see here, addition of A and B is 12. Since I'm passing 1 and 2, it should give me 3, but it is giving me 12, which is a wrong result. So this is one of the main mistake which is done by some developers. So you should always give parenthesis here, and here should give parenthesis. Let's try to run. Okay, so this is what called method overloading. And in method overloading, there is one concept called signature. So method signature. So what is method signature? Let's first define. Method signature is method name, comma, parameter types, and number of parameters. If we'll consider these three things as a single name, that is called signature. So what is the signature of our method? Our add method signature is add. This is the name of the method. and it is taking two variables with integer type. Here, this is signature is name of the method, which is the same add, and here it takes only one parameter, that to a different type. So here the signature is totally different, and here the signature is totally different. The combination of all these three things becomes the signature. So here the combination of all these three things becomes the signature. So this is one of the example of method overloading. Let's try to see example of constructor overloading. So how to define a constructor? Directly just take the class name and then here you write something. Sys out. This is a default constructor. And if we'll define, let's say define some more variables, integer x, right? And here if I'll create a constructor with integer x parameter and this dot x equal to x. So this is a keyword which I had explained earlier also in the uh, earlier session. Here I have defined two constructor. One is with one parameter and one is without parameters. So here the signature differs. It takes no arguments and here it takes one argument with integer type. So this is constructor overloading. As you can see here, this constructor is of gray color. Why it is in gray color? Because I have not called this constructor anywhere, or I have not used this constructor anywhere. But in your situation, wherever it is necessary, you can define multiple constructor with different types of parameters and different number of parameters to achieve the constructor overloading. So this is all about the method overloading or constructor overloading. In the next session, we will cover the polymorphism using method overriding, how it is achieved, which is also known as runtime polymorphism. So thanks for watching this video and stay tuned.